but interesting. And I thought it was a nice way for them to be able to bridge anger and the fun and forward in your faceness of that.
The re-entry, the comeback, the reeling it back in. He's sort of that.
I like the choice, and I guess it's not that weird of a choice then to do all things considered, but it's such, that is the epitome of PHiSH tone and sound to me, right? It's kind of playful. It has.
Right, that's it.
All right, we are back. It did something weird on me there, but there we go. We're talking summer '98. Me and Scott Mikita, my man. How are we doing, sir?
What's up? Yeah, excited.
Right. What are we smoking tonight?
Candy Kush, man.
Candy Kush.
Pure fucking strong indica shit. Yeah.
Flavor du jour.
Oh yeah.
The best was people at Mondegreen. You want a hit of this, and you're like, you know what kind of weed that is?
Yeah, I became that special kind of guy where I gotta know. I can't just take a hit of your shit anymore, because if it's too sativa leaning, I start bugging out, and I don't know. I became old, man. You get old and shit changes.
Smart. It's smart to know.
Back in the day, it was like whatever you give me, I'm in. But now it's like I got like preferences on what I want to smoke. And yeah,
I got my own. Not to be that guy.
Individual in that regard.
Not to be that guy.
Right.
I
want to be there.
We're talking 98. You and I were messaging back and forth talking about how spring and summer and 98 was really as pivotal a year as probably 97 was for their sound, because 97 really became a microcosm in and of itself once we get through all of this. But we're doing the first 9 shows in Europe, and just give me your overall take on it. They had 6 months off except for 4 shows.
I felt like there was a lot of looseness to these shows, and a lot of new shit. But overall, I don't know. You're coming off the Island tour. You're coming off PHiSH Destroys America. You're coming off that 1229 and 1230 shows from 97, which are legendary. And what are we gonna do to set the bar here in 98? And I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff packed in here. It's it's a long summer tour. Obviously, we're just gonna touch the European part of it, but for tonight,
I tell you what,
I respect, because
what I began thinking going through this, listening to remembering the Island tour and that maze through Cavern that they closed the last show with, and how that almost became a blueprint for a lot of what was going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to try something new here and add, there we go. We're going to look at PHishNet, because we love PHishNet, and that way we can look at the set list as we go through. The Gray Hall Ghost, yes. So obviously that's going to be a headline with this. The debut of the faster arrangement of Water in the Sky, fantastic move. What's your highlights? Well, what are your top thoughts off that?
So, I mean, obviously we have the debut of the fast Water in the Sky. I personally, I don't care for this song, and they played it a lot in 97 and 98, and they played it in multiple different speeds or versions or however you want to call it, and none of them really blew me away. And I felt like the song was overplayed. It's a little ditty, it's a short ditty. It's not anything that you need to get too worked up about, but for me, it's just one of those songs that, like, I don't know. I wish they would have omitted at times. So the Limb by Limb, right? There's some cool banter at the end of it. There's actually a lot of banter throughout this show. The
loose, very loose.
The Ghost is cool, but it somewhat of an abrupt ending, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. I had a San Jose tease.
Yeah, but it kind of drops off quickly, where I felt like I wanted it to just keep going. you know, and then they drop into the water in the sky or whatever. But
Does it deserve the status that it gets?
Okay, so I don't feel like it does, right? Like, I like the ghost. Don't get me wrong. It's a good ghost. It's very good. You
It's
know,
a good ghost.
it is. I'm not trying to shit on it, but you know, we're gonna talk about a much better ghost as far as I'm
Right.
concerned. The cool thing about this show is the banter. Honestly, like if we're gonna talk about anything, the banter with Trey and PHiSH, and like they egg Mike on, and Mike's telling PHiSH that he's cut off, and like there's just this great banter, and like even Trey says like this first set, like early banter from Mike in quite some time, and you know, you get the first fast water in the sky, but who cares, right? You know,
Right.
bouncing. Trey takes a request, right?
Right.
Like he takes a request and says like no more banter, and then they can't stop. He says like, all right, that's enough banter, and then like they just keep bantering throughout the whole show.
There's something in
And
the
then they
water.
tease the idea of like an entire show of just banter, where they don't play any songs. They just fucking talk, and like the fucking crowd goes wild. And like, yeah, that'd be awesome. It's a good tube. It's short, but I think Paige is he shines on it.
Is there a sand tease? Is there really a sand?
The one thing I really want to hone in on here, right? Like there's this really cool moment in Stash. I think it's like 119-ish. Trey breaks structure and plays a little bit of the end jam in like in the structured part where it's like but Trey plays like the ending crescendo part in like one of those fills, which I can't recall ever hearing before. Like it's very unique in that regard, and I don't know. It's really good. It's a very loose version. The segue into cities is fucking just butter smooth.
Highlighted the set. Definitely.
Amazing, right? There's more banter. Trey's like egging Mike on. Like Mike
they
like
were so
Carl
loose.
Yastrzemski and like Freddie Lynn for being there or some shit. Like Red Sox. Like, was that real? Or was that just like for the tapers? Like, what the hell was that?
How much do you think that is the venues they were playing? They were tiny venues. They were not PHiSH in America when they're PHiSH in Europe. They're a band. Oh, that band PHiSH from America. Maybe I'll go see them. I mean, they played some tiny venues on this tour.
They did, and I'm still confused, like on whether Yaz and Freddie Lynn were actually there, or that was just part of like a little. Like, I mean, fuck with the tapers because I know they're here and they're gonna get this, right? Like,
I don't think that's in the notes, man. I don't think that's in the show notes.
It's just a wild thing, and the MoMA dance, like dance instructions,
right?
You know, that sticker of like the foot going forward and stuff. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that's what the MoMA dance was. There was like a little.
Right.
It
was
like that was a thing.
Meat stick.
And
right.
And then like Mike doesn't know the dance and shit, or maybe that comes in a different show. Actually, that comes in a different show. But then like there's a soccer score after the lope. Like it's a very loose show. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
I don't know that it's the greatest show, but it's for a tour opener, man. I mean,
it has highlights.
Really,
the Stash
it really
Cities
does. Like,
right. The Stash Cities
unique shit in this show.
The Wolfman's Through Antelope, and I really like Swept Away and Steep tucked in the middle of Mike's songs Weekapa.
I love a Swept Away Steep at any time. So
give it to me.
Good shit.
All right, what do we got next? Oh, we're back at the Gray Hall.
This is the show. So this is the show where Mike doesn't know the dance.
Right.
Like, and Trey rips on him. He's like, Mike's fucking it up. He doesn't know the dance. And like, you know, it's some cool, you know, banter with the play on from the night before. The Disease is sick. It's incredible, actually. It's very good down with Disease. The jam's very quiet and patient.
You see where it ends
And
up.
then it jams again. It like picks back up, and then it gets quiet, and the fade into like the Dogface Boy. That's the highlight for me. The Tweezer 2001's excellent to start the second set.
I love that second set because
It's
they do loving. They do 2 covers in to close it because they were basically like, actually 3. I mean, 4 covers. It's one of their originals and then 4 covers in this set. But I'm saying instead of getting, normally with a chalk dust or something there, they're like, let's have fun with it.
yeah, and the long train running teases, like I don't even know that I picked up on it. I thought honestly, like I just thought that the energy in those 2 jams was at a very high level. I know it's there, it's written. That's why I was looking at it going.
I do not. I
don't really have that in my notes, but
right. I did not hear it either. But sometimes I totally miss stuff, and you just have to trust Fishnet. I think you and I have learned that over the years. You
To a
just have to
certain extent.
accept what's
I
there.
mean, a respectable extent. No disrespect, but yeah.
I still want my
There's a lot of teases missing throughout the years, but
right. I still want my She's a Devil Woman tease for the in between the Ghost and Gin at Nashville in 21. So
there it is.
That's huge. Yeah, this one, I mean, I think that they were like, they had been there 2 nights. I bet you, I don't know this, but I have a feeling that they probably were enjoying themselves being in Copenhagen, Denmark.
This is actually like the Grey Hall Ghost, though, right? When people talk about the Grey Hall Ghost,
yes, this is,
it's this
yeah,
night.
right.
But before we get into that, I think the interesting thing here is like, not only do you have 2 different Gordon debuts, you have them back to back. Like, I don't know that another show's ever had that before. So you have Meat and PHiSH back to back, like 2 Mike songs debuting for the first time, and they're debuted back to back. Like,
is PHiSH really a song?
I mean, technically, right?
It has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
It's a song. You can say whatever you want about it, but it is a song, and I don't know, man. I just feel like Trey doesn't give the reins to Mike that way very often.
I think Mike has accepted it. I think part of it is Mike's just like, whatever, you want me to sing Old Home Place? Whatever.
Yeah, no, for sure. But at the same time,
I want Mike to get that band he had in New Orleans to tour. Because your boy from Max Creek, I don't think is going to tour really anymore like that.
Well, Scotty likes to stay close. Yeah. No, Murawski's like he's got some shit going on at home and whatever, but he's not going to stop. Creek's still out there doing their thing locally. So, I like Shafty. I thought the fluff head was not the best. It was
falling apart at this time.
It's got some moments where it just doesn't really hold it together, but it's almost like, well, 2 back-to-back Mike songs. What are we supposed to do with this fluff head? It kind of falls off a little bit, but
Punch in the Eye, Character Zero is a solid ass closer. Right. And again, it's the second set. It's loose. It's exploratory. They know they aren't on a huge stage. Basically, they're, so they're like, let's let it go and figure out where last year's sound is going to end up by the time we get to America.
It's a fun second set. I mean, they got a 4-song second set like that, and the Grey Hall Ghost, and again, there's a lot of debate. There's a lot of debate on the Grey Hall Ghost versus the Prague Ghost, and a lot of people seem to lean this way, and I'm not one of those. I do think it's a great ghost.
That's the problem with calling stuff by a venue name. Like that other band does all the time, because what if there's 2 good ghosts from this
when they're that good? It makes sense though, Kev, right? Like it really does. I mean, it really truly does. The Greek cities, like there's so many different examples that you can do over the years, but
I would say the 7-2 Ghost.
And I'm with you, honestly. I am. I'm with you on that. But at the same
the
time,
the encore struck me as strange.
yeah, I will agree with that. I do think that this second set had a really nice flow to it. The Ghost, Jim, Caspian, Yem, like, people hate the fucker pants or whatever, but like the whole second set really worked well as a cohesive unit. But yeah, a very strange choice for the encore.
Okay. I think we're talking about Ficus there, right? Yes, we're talking about Ficus. Yeah, she wouldn't come on my show to boot. Probably because I was drunk when I went up and talked to her at a show and asked
That's
for
my
a
guy
card.
right there. That's Brian Tompkins. I met him at Mohegan's Sun. Nice
Yes.
guy, very nice guy.
I love it. All right, you ready to move on from
Yeah.
Copenhagen? All right, we are now in Denmark, still at Ringfin. I'm sorry, was that racist? Probably.
I'm not pronouncing it, so I don't.
It was a festival
It's
set,
better than
right?
big.
Right?
It was
set.
exactly that though. Let's be real. It was a festy set. There was some band that canceled, and then PHiSH got to play longer.
Thank you.
I really never heard of any of these bands before that were on this bill, except for the Kenny Wayne Shepherd. He's like the only person I had ever heard of when I looked at this entire lineup. I was like, no idea who any of these people are. The 2001 is good. Yeah, like whatever, but it's a festy set, like 100%.
Let's say you'd never heard of PHiSH. You go to this festival, they come out and they play this long because the other band canceled. Do you walk away thinking I'm going to listen to it again?
Yeah, this isn't the best representation in that regard. Like, yeah, I don't think this is selling new fans. This particular show, for sure.
Right. I like the Yam because it went into the day of the life, like it says in the notes, without a vocal jam. The less vocal jams, probably the better off we are.
I can't disagree with that. I like what they do nowadays, where they go back into the jam. They shorten the vocal jam.
Yes, the second Yam
jam, and
the second
Yam. There's been several examples of that. It doesn't happen often, but it's always a nice treat when they do that.
You were at the Deer Creek when they started it, and they went into that wave of hope. And after that show,
I don't think that was. Well, it really started with the Fox New Year's, right?
Okay, right. But that show, I know you were at, and they went into Wave of Hope, and that was a moment at that show.
It was very cool. Yeah, that was a great show, actually. 6/4/22, I believe.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on. They took the 4th of July off because USA. Oh, that was 97. My fault.
There's a lot of years they took it. Did a few shows in 19 that cut off on the 4th.
Right.
Did that back Fenway thing that was broken up, and then on to Mohegan. But anyway, so we move on to the first night of Prague, right?
Yeah.
This is not the talked about show ever when people talk about Prague 98.
Right. Birds of a Feather. It had become the new Cross-Eyed and Painless. Cross-Eyed and Painless kind of disappeared for a few years when they started doing Birds of a Feather.
Let's be real. It's not like the new Cross-Eyed and Painless.
Well, I think they wrote it to fill that spot in a set list.
Yeah, but it took a long time for them to actually jam a version out. And this wasn't.
What about the second version, the one from Rhode Island? I thought that one had a little meat to it.
Yeah, they were still feeling it out though, and then it kind of broke back into structure for a long time, including this one, right? Yep. Like this was nothing like out of the ordinary. It was more structured, I think that the Reba structure kind of fell right the fuck off early, and it was tough to get back into it. I don't like, talking shit. The jam was great, but overall, I thought it was kind of a weak first set. Again, another Water in the Sky, like just not a very strong first set.
Right. A few interesting set choices with the Taste Cavern is the 2-3 songs. But that run of Fee, Water in the Sky, Lawn Boy, up to the
they butchered the lyrics in Fee.
Right.
And
Well, what
then
is that?
they jammed it out nice, you know, like it had that feature to it.
Right. There you go.
They're
Trey seemed to
highlighting
forget
shit
the
below.
lyrics.
But I mean,
There's-
it was kind of, it was bad. And then
It
the
got
energy
worse.
picked up because he was like, fuck it. And like, you could feel that there were antics on the stage just listening to the audio.
Right.
And there was a nice little jam out of it. And that's not typical for PHiSH. So that was cool. But overall, it was a pretty, weak first set. The Jim Moma McGrupp,
Yeah.
I had no complaints there. Like that
Right.
was
The second set made up
really
for it.
nice.
Right.
Really nice.
Anytime you get a jam listed, you know
Right.
you hit on something special.
But I mean, we're still talking like a jammed out version of McGrupp in reality, which is very fucking rare and always welcomed. So you can call it jam, but it's still just a piece of McGrupp if we're being real. And the
Right,
hood
yeah.
was really good hood, I thought.
I love the song choices. It's fun. It's almost irreverent. Let's do an Axela. Let's do a hood. Oh, we're gonna throw a Rocky Top on the end because we're in the Czech Republic and Rocky Top is an appropriate tune for
Hell yeah.
Funky Bitch Encore. All right. You know.
Now we're talking the absolute best show of the entire tour.
Yeah, definitely. Monday night. Do not miss a Monday night in Prague.
I just still can't, like, a Monday. Really? Like, talk about not giving a shit, right? They open with Buried Alive, the bag. I'm going to say this is the second best Ghost of all time. I'm just going to say it.
Wow. Well, what's the best? Which are you going to throw our Radio City up there as best or Lakewood?
No, Radio City doesn't even make my top 10. It's Lakewood, and it's not close. Lakewood just has everything. However, if you like just step on the fucking pedal, full speed ahead, no, you're not putting 87 regular and you're going 93 high octane. This is the Ghost for you, man. It has so much fire and flame to it. I always go back to this when I just need something that's fucking, just picks up and accelerates. Ghost this is just such a great Ghost. Right. And to the segue into cities out of the Ghost, like I don't even know how to really bring the Ghost into better light. Like, it is really that good. And you should 100% listen to it. If you're watching this, you absolutely, if you have never heard this version of Ghost, you have to do it. You should listen to the whole show, because if I can say anything about Live PHiSH, they have done some very good things. They've released some very sketchy things. This was definitely the right choice for this tour to release this show.
Right. The first 4 tunes are a perfect side of a tape. When I got this, I kept running it. I would rewind it back. I never even heard the Limb by Limb until years later because I kept rewinding the first side of the tape.
I just fucking love this Ghost, right? And right, the segue into cities, the Limb by Limb is good. Train Song, Roger, whatever, nice cool downs. The fucking maze is incredible.
Right. It's weird.
No, I mean, okay, sure, it's weird, right? But the way that they stop on a fucking dime right, and thank the fucking crowd and shit, and then start on a fucking dime at 100 fucking miles an hour and just like, this show has so many incredible versions of songs. The Ghost is a fucking cannot miss. The Maze is a fucking cannot miss, right? You love a Golgi Apparatus fucking set closer. I know you do. It's one of your favorite fucking songs, right?
Yep. That's a fun thing. It's old. It's very old. It's our youth.
The Julius fucking Meat combo in the second set works. The Piper, again, accelerates at 100 miles an hour. Like, there's just so much fucking fuel in this goddamn show. it just doesn't make sense. And then you get into the Maki Supa and the whole fucking Petrov fucking shit, and I
just having fun with it,
But then you get a great Bowie and a great Loving Cup to end the set, and like it's just such a killer show, man. Like again, Live Fish does a lot of good things. This was an early release by Live Fish, and it was such a fucking great choice.
I'll take any Bowie from 97 or 98 over pretty much any Bowie they got going on today.
Which is pretty much the consensus, and I wouldn't disagree with you there, but I fucking love this show. And this is by far the staple of this fucking European tour.
Now did you you saw your first show a few years before this? You were getting tapes at this time. Yes. I remember waiting on the tape for this, and I felt like this one took longer than all the other shows to get to me. I got the Spain shows first, probably because people got home and re-listened to them first because it was the most recent. But for whatever reason,
this was the only show that I think I had a good recording of for a long time.
Yep.
And
a lot of good recordings came.
Backtracked into Gray Hall. A lot of these shows I never had on tape.
Right. I think I got most of the tour.
There were a couple, but this was definitely the first one. The America tour I had like all of. Right. I still probably have
most of
somewhere.
Right. I was running,
I don't even know. It's not like I threw tapes out. They would just wear out at points.
At this time in my life, back in 98, at this time, I was running 4 double decks almost 10 hours a day. When I was home, they were running dubbing tapes. When I left for work, I left aside running. You know?
Dude, Trav was talking about taping to CD or some shit on the last thing we did together. And like, I had never heard of that before. I didn't even know you could do that. I have so many tapes I would love to fucking somehow convert to a CD. I don't know.
When I went back to college, right, I got student loans and all this. I took my student loan money and bought a Tascam CDR 5000, which was a standalone CD burner. The first one of the first ones that came out, and it had RCA jacks. So you just hooked your tape deck up into the back and you ran just a straight through. It didn't have tracks. But I could run 45 minutes of a side, and I would just do sides of tapes to a disc. So they only had 45 minutes of music on each one.
No shit. That's so wild. All right, well, that's.
I got piles of them, dude. I got boxes of CDs.
Of course you did.
All right, they fell apart at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, the MoMA Gin Punch was a good start. I felt like, you know.
Yeah.
And then the Edgar
a lot more banter. I think they took the banter to another level with these shows, because didn't they have problems with like instruments in one of these shows?
Yeah, it's not this one, but
it's the next one.
I thought overall this was a pretty solid first set. The whole Edgar Winter nod, and like they made a big deal about it, and then did the Frankenstein. Coyote was good. I thought it was very solid.
Should they try to play Coyote anymore?
You know, Mike's got to put that extra piece on. Did you see his bass rig down video where the modulus doesn't even have those frets, and like he has a specially made little extra piece that he has to add to hit those notes? Dude, wild shit. Anyway, I'm not saying they shouldn't play it. I just don't think they play it enough to where it's impactful anymore. I think it was really cool in 98, you know?
Right.
It had a better overall response to it than, say, like Time Turns Elastic did. But they're similar in structured, you know, compositional fucking.
But Coyote's about a psychopathic pig.
Yeah,
like, Coyote's about a psychopathic pig, not about some metaphysical shit. Time Turns Elastic.
So, all right. So you bring up an interesting point, though. Can I, if I can, for a second? Like, I know we're talking about these particular shows, but like with Coyote, right? And there's other examples, Fluffhead, and like I'm talking about the composed, the structured songs. The music that they play to these lyrics that are written, it's like the music takes you on the adventure further as it plays. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
It's not just a song. Like, it has like there's nonsensical lyrics, but then like there's this whole adventure in the music before they come back to like, I don't know, structure.
You can fill in
more
the movie
lyrics
in
or
your
whatever.
head.
I just always felt like they do storytelling so well, and then like there's this whole musical fucking trail that continues the story, and nobody does it better. So anyway, are you frozen? Oh no, you're just...
I'm fucking an echo. Wait, did I get it? I was touching an echo.
I don't know, man. I just had to go
Echo.
off for a minute. I love compositional fish. I really do. So, and I felt like they did Gaiuti really solid here. So, and then Antelope's good too. I really like this first set. It's a hard rockin' Wilson though to start the second. Like, there's a little bit of, you can get down on this Wilson. It gets out there. Johnny B. Good's got the ole ole shit with the soccer. I don't know.
Right,
Beatrice
sleeping monkey.
Chili,
Yeah.
she requests that monkey and gets it.
Can I tell you that I can't stand Johnny B. Good?
Really? Do
I
you
do
not
like that song? I did not like.
Ed did it, and you didn't like it.
No, I did not like when Bob Weir did that. I was like, dude, really? Come on.
I like Johnny B. Good. I was a big fan of, I don't know. I like Johnny B. Good, and I really there were some. They definitely played it at Worcester. I don't know if it was 97 or 98, but I mean, there's some ripping versions of Johnny B. Good. I feel like they did it solid in certain places.
Right,
But
95
this might not be the greatest example, but
right, 95 in Nissan when they broke it out in Tweezer, I was like, that's interesting. Okay. But then, like, I feel like the Denver one, it's like it gets all this glory for what? It's a 2-bar blues. Anyway, we can talk about that another time.
no. Hey, man.
Let's do this. All right. This, I don't know. This might low key be my favorite show.
Really?
Yeah. I love Circus Comes to Town. The little Blister in the Sun thing is fun. The Carini. This is the only Carini the whole tour.
So the Carini's interesting because, right, it chased the fan who jumped on stage, and then the light just falls on fucking Carini's head and shit. Like, what are the odds of that? Like, that really happened. Like, that's wild shit.
That's why I love it. It's got a great story to it.
The tweezer's fucking awesome. Actually, it's a great tweezer.
A first set tweezer, the split open and melt. It's the only split open and melt of the tour. You got the Boogie on Reggae Woman into NICU, which I feel like is a fantastic pairing because NICU wants to be a reggae song.
It is fun. Okay, I'll give you that. The Drowned is great to open the second set. And then, okay, so you like the Blister in the Sun thing. All right, so I'm going to say this. The Son of a Mule, the Blister in the Sun, back into Mule, it's cool, right? But it's not good. It's not. It's just not good. It's cool that they did it. It's fun. I get it. It's not fucking played well. It's just not. It's not good, dude. But it's fun. I'll give you that. And I don't like any Harry Hood that's unfinished.
Right. Even for an Isabella.
123097 is an excellent hood, but it's unfinished. I went to Bonnaroo, my only Bonnaroo in 2012, unfinished. Like, I hate any unfinished hood.
Even into Isabella? It
seemed very unplanned. You still then come back and finish hood after Isabella, if that's what you want to do. You have to finish hood.
Right.
That is my golden fucking rule. You want to play Harry Hood, you finish Harry Hood. Stop with this fucking not finishing it bullshit.
That whole second set besides Hood were all tour debuts.
It's just, I don't care. It irks me when they don't do Hood proper.
All right.
It always will.
This is the last show, right?
No,
I don't want to click
one
on the
more.
next.
There's one more.
Right. I didn't want to click on it and then end up in America.
Unfortunately, it's not one that needs to be spoken about too much. The next show is the show you were saying.
Oh, right. Then everything fell apart.
Absolute
right.
sound disaster. Right? The Haley's is great. It gets real funky. A few minutes in, like, this is the show that has the pre-teases of both First Tube and What's the Use.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it set everything up
a year or some shit before they even had these songs.
The Ghost album came out soon after this, like right before Summer Tour, didn't it? Let me look it up.
What's that?
The Ghost album came out right before Summer Tour, so they had already done the Sick of This stuff.
No, I think Ghost came out in '99, right?
No, it was '98, dude. Definitely.
Oh, it could have been November '98. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, October 27th. So it was after Summer Tour.
So they debuted like half of this fucking album in Europe in '97, and then the second half of this album in Europe in '98, which is wild. And then they released it, like you said, in October, right?
Right.
That's okay, right? But
that never went back and tried Divided Sky again. But we got the full Mike song, Simple Weekapa, which now the T's not around. I will say I like better than Mike's Hydrogen Weekapa.
Dude, the Haley's has those first. All right, we have to talk about this more. You can't just like glaze over the fact that these were a year ahead of time pre-teases of both First Tube and What's the Use.
Right.
And a great Haley's comment, right? Like I don't even love Haley's comment. I think we got a decent one at Hershey in 21, right? You and I
we did get a decent one,
right?
Yeah.
So that was a good Haley's, but like this one's really cool and it has those like I don't know, just little touches on both of those songs, and a year before they even came into into play. So they had like multiple attempts at playing mics, and then they were all aborted, and then they're trying to play jokes, and like fuck it, they turn the monitors around, and not for nothing, they finally get into it. The third time that they try to do mics, that Mike's Simple Pog is fucking awesome.
It is
like the whole show is fucked because of sound. But they really rally, and like once they figure it out and turn that shit around, and Trey's just like, fuck it, this is the way we're doing it. I don't want to hear another word. We're turning the monitors around.
Is it weird that they did everything worked the first two nights, but the third night?
Yeah, they had a lot of problems, man. They had a lot of sound problems, and it sucks that this was the last show of the tour, and that's how it ended, with them like getting pissed off and shit. And
they never been back.
Like, Trey getting pissed throughout it, and like
it's all Spain's fault that they've never been back.
And they aborted the first set quick, and then like they had to like fucking redo shit. But then once they get it down, dude, it's what is it, 30-40 minutes of greatness that Mike Sham once they finally get it.
Right, you get a side of a tape,
and then in good faith they end the set with Good Times Bad Times, because that's what they do when they're kind of that show is okay. They'll give you a little Good Times Bad Times,
and then a double encore, which they hadn't been doing. Right, double encore is very common now. Back then, you got a single song normally.
Right, true. I like a Brian and Robert. I like
a Brian and Robert too. I like Taste.
Fun stuff.
No issue with that.
But tour overall, I think the Europe tour was fun. It was loose. It gave them, they were like trying to go back to what made '97 great, because they did that before doing the thing in '97. I wrote a piece on it. I didn't get to talk about it on here, but I did a whole show by show thing review for you guys on your blog. That's a very fun tour.
It was only 5 days later that they played the first show in the USA in Portland.
Right. And that's a whole different story that we're going to get into at a later time, I believe. But
2 weeks. 2 weeks we'll be back doing this for y'all.
Yeah, man.
And there it is. T, do you want to pop on for a second and say hi?
Oh, wow. Hey.
There he is.
Hey. Oh, yes.
You know, it's funny, T. I was like, now that T's not here, I can say this. And I was like, Mike's Simple Weekapie, I like that better than Mike's Hydrogen Weekapie. And not 2 seconds later, you popped up. I was like, get the fuck out of here. We got to plug
Great minds.
No, man.
No, that's funny. That's good timing.
It was fun. That was
That's
good.
good.
It was
That's
a
good.
show. Everybody who's watching later, leave some comments. Thank you, everybody who was hanging out. The chat was active. Volume had some stuff going on, T, and I'm having trouble being one person sometimes.
7698. Listen to it. If you don't know it, I don't know what you're doing, but that's the show.
That's the best one there. So 2 weeks. Next week we're going to be back with over on Volume doing this with Julie, Cubs girl, because we're doing a Grateful Dead 10/31/80, the Dead Ahead movie show, and then the week after that, Scott and I will be back. Maybe T will be here doing the first half of the U.S. tour because we decided it was 19 shows. We're going to do 9 and then 10 or 10 and then 9.
I can't believe we're talking about Summer 98 in 3 parts. That's so much. That's just so exciting.
Yes, it is. It's very exciting. I mean, well, hell, we took 40 minutes.
I thought we were going to do this whole thing in like a half hour, and it's like, yes, it's going to be 3 parts. I got an hour like each time. Nice.
Absolutely
love talking about 98, dude. So
tomorrow night, we got Mike Ayers coming on Live with us. Mike and I are going to refine.
Gotta get the book.
We're going to refine our Halloween stick because we want to talk some Halloween. So we're going to use this as a testing ground a little bit tomorrow night. Friday, we're trying something new, right, T?
Yep. Scoot, you should drive on down to see Kev live and get that book, and you can get it signed by the author there.
I tell you what, I told the story about me getting pulled over in DC last Tuesday in Gorilla Toss. Scott can tell a story about he came into town for a wedding, so I rented a car so we could go out and party. I get up to this red light, and we get caught at a red light, so I throw the car in reverse on a one-way street and back all the way up down that.
It was a roundabout, man. It was a fucking. You weren't. There's no light. We were in a roundabout, and you went the wrong fucking way. And Heather's like freaking out. Oh my god! And then she finds out that Kev doesn't drive ever. She didn't even fucking know that. Like I didn't either. Like neither of us did. Then he told us, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
But I rented a car just for you.
That is.
He did. He really did. Like that's Kev, man. Kev's that solid guy. And like
I got a license.
Our first meet up and shit. We had a good time that night.
I got a license.
And then Kev drove us home the wrong.
The last time I got pulled over, I was dating.
Lost it.
I was dating my ex-wife. So that was probably 2001 or 2002 was the last time I got pulled over before last week. So
before the other night.
Damn it. I shouldn't have gone across 4 lanes and made a left from a right lane.
Yeah.
He thought he was like, I got a live one. And then he pulled me over and he's like, I got an old white guy who isn't even drunk.
This guy.
Yeah, you said like several charges or something.
Yeah. I drank, I had 3 natty bows when the band started. So I was like.
Well, you had water.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Peter was cool. He's like, I'm not drinking tonight. You want my drink ticket? I was like, yes. I will take a free beer. I'm not going to argue about that. All right, we're out of here. T, you got anything?
Just that today is the anniversary of the October 21st, 1995, Lincoln, Nebraska show. That if you haven't listened to that, you should probably go listen to that today in honor of it. Opening with the reprise and closing first set with a reprise. The good times, bad times into reprise to close the first set, which is probably one of the greatest segues they've ever done from a good times, bad times into that reprise is just fucking melted butter. I love it.
Is this
so
the
much.
weird red tight shirt tray show?
Yes, it's the weird red tight shirt tray show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's also Brent Midland's birthday.
I drove from Fort Collins to Lincoln that
Wow.
afternoon and got to there for that show. I went and took one of my buddies to his first PHiSH show that night. And he's a huge, what's great is, he's a huge like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC fan. So the fact that they play Good Times, Bad Times, Purple Rain, and Highway to Hell as an encore, I was like, dude, you got like the perfect show for you. Like, this was awesome.
When are they playing again? Where's the next show?
Yeah, right. And what's crazy is that was back when they did shows. They had a show the night before and a show the night after. So it was like, and if you wanted to, the chess year, because I think they did the chess move, I think at the beginning of that show too, I think.
You could have got a job cooking with them.
Yeah, the chess.
Oh, I should have pulled the Mike Ayers and been like, hey, you need any help back there doing potatoes or anything?
I'm a whiz with a peeler.
I'm a whiz with a peeler.
Anyway, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump drive down to see Kev, or else I would.
You're right there, right? I thought everything on the East Coast is next to each other.
Dude, it's so
no, he has to drive through New York City.
It's so far, man. It's like 7 fucking hours.
It's like people in Virginia don't want to come to Baltimore because they got to drive through DC. You don't want to drive through DC. It just takes like 9.
I have to drive through all those fucking cities to get down there. It sucks.
Rush hour in DC starts at 4 a.m. and ends at 3 a.m. the next day.
Exactly.
That's how that shit works.
You get an hour, maybe.
You get maybe, and you're drunk. All the cops are just waiting to pull you over because you're the only person on the road.
There's too much action down that way, man. I don't like it. I don't like that drive.
All right, we're out of here. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, dog?
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.